okay? Because if it's something that you don't like about the apartment, you say, hey, I don't want to move in until I get this straightened out. If the cabinet's crooked, I need new cabinets before I sign this lease, okay? You don't. Hey YouTube, it's me, Kay Renee, and I'm here back with another video. And based on my title, I will be talking about what to do when you first move into your apartment and things to think about before you actually move in, as well as the actions that you should take before and when you move in. Now, I do have a previous video on talking about when to move out of your parents' house. But for those of you who really liked that video and you guys wanted a part 2, this video is talking more about things to think about before you move and the actions that you should take once you have moved in. So just stay tuned and just enjoy the video. The very first thing that you need to consider is your upfront costs. Majority of the time, majority and most of the time when you are moving into a new apartment, you will have upfront costs, and these upfront costs could be application fee. It could be like a deposit, like a security deposit. A security deposit is what you put down to the apartment, and majority of the time you get the security deposit back if the apartment is left how you bought it or how you started to rent it off in the beginning. If you have a pet, you have to pay a pet fee, and a lot of times pet fees be expensive, and you have to pay rent for pets too. So just figuring out what your upfront costs are would be the number one step. The next thing that you need to do is figure out your recurring payments. So that includes like what you'll be paying every single month. You'll be paying your rent, your lights, your gas, your electricity, food, groceries. You'll be paying like cable, cell phone, and gas, and clothing, and shoes, loans, or whatever you got going on in your life, car note, car insurance. Then you add all of those up. And if you only have, let me tell you something, okay? If you only have $50 left after you add all of those up, and that's it, that apartment is way too expensive for you. You cannot afford it. Now, I'm going to be realistic with you guys, and I'm going to be really truthful with you guys. In order to live comfortably, and in order to live like, okay, I'm comfortable living in this spot, you need to make sure that you can save at least, this is not the most, this is the least, $400 to $500 a month. You know what I'm saying? Because anything can pop up, literally. What are you going to do if you get stuck on the side of the road, your tire just busted? Or what are you going to do when things go left and you need to pay for like a medical bill or anything like that? You need to save at least $400 to $500 a month, guys. Seriously, in order to live comfortably in the spot that you're in, because the last thing that you want to do is say, man, I done paid all my bills and I can't even go out with my friends, or I can't even get my hair done, I can't get my nails done, I'm broke. So that should be your biggest fear, okay? Only get what you can afford. Don't try to pressure yourself into getting this fancy luxurious apartment and you cannot afford it, okay? All right, now let's move on to the next step. Okay, after you've completed this step, the next thing that I would recommend you do is to contact the property or contact your landlord and ask if you could get a tour schedule so that you can look at the apartments, because majority of the times the pictures that you see online, you can't really clearly see how the amenities look. You can't really see how big the apartment is and what it actually looks like on the inside. So just scheduling a tour so you can look on the inside of that apartment would be really, really, really helpful for you, so that you can get a thought of what you would probably like or won't like. Because majority of the times, them people, they'll put them brand new amenities up, and then the apartment that you moving in, they don't have new amenities. So just go in person and look at the apartment. And another thing that you need to do is, before you sign that lease, you need to look at your apartment, okay? Now, majority of the times, the things that you see on the pictures and stuff, they don't be what you're renting. So make sure that you look at the apartment that you're actually going to get before you sign that lease, okay? Because if it's something that you don't like about the apartment, you say, hey, I don't want to move in until I get this straightened out. If the cabinet's crooked, I need new cabinets before I sign this lease, okay? You don't want everything to be you don't want everything to be on you. You want it to be on them. It's their job to make sure that you are living comfortable. It's their property. So make sure that you look at your apartment before you move into it, because I'm telling you, a lot of times when people, they look at these pictures, they like, oh my gosh, these apartments, they're so nice. But when they get their actual apartment, it don't be what those pictures look like. So just, okay, good. Oh, and another thing, guys, before you move into your apartment, make sure you tell your landlord or the rental property a glimpse of what you're looking for in that apartment. So if you're looking for vaulted ceilings, a walk-in closet, hardwood floors, um, let them know that so that they could be on the lookout for you. When it's time for you to move in, they just won't put you in anything, or you move in and you got this really small closet in your bedroom when you clearly want a big closet, or you move in and you got this dirty carpet in your apartment. Like, no. Let them know what you're looking for and make sure that it's included within the rent. Make sure that it doesn't cost more, and if it does, try to negotiate the price with them if you can. But that's just like a really, really helpful tip for you guys, because I know, okay? Thing to do is see if you need a co-signer. A lot of times these people, they want to see if you will be a good tenant or not. So especially if you're a first time buyer, you need to prove to these people like, hey, I pay my bills on time. So it'll be good if you have like a car note or something to prove like, hey, I've been having this car for 2 years. I've been paying it on time. I've been paying this and that and this and that. I paid a light bill at my mom's house, or something, just something that you could give to them to prove that you can pay your bills on time. And if you need a co-signer, then oh well, you just need a co-signer. That's up to them to figure out what they want to do, because majority of the times, if you don't want a co-signer but they recommend a co-signer, they probably end up making you pay more for that apartment, if you don't want to get a co-signer. But if I were you, if I could get a co-signer and this is my first time renting an apartment, someone that's trustworthy, someone that's not going to be like, well, I stay here, I'm the co-signer and da-da-da, then do that, okay? But if you just want to be on your boss moves and just want to do everything your way, that's fine, and I understand it as well. You don't have to get a co-signer, okay? But if you do need one and it is a requirement, then hey, you got to do what you got to do. But just making sure that you don't need a co-sign to talk to them. Let them know like, hey, I've never rented an apartment before, but I pay my bills on time, sister or brother, okay? The next thing you need to do is make sure that you include renter's insurance into your apartment. Yes, it's going to cost a little bit more, but it's not that expensive. You need to make sure you have renter's insurance, sis or brother, because the last thing you want is you coming home on Christmas Day and everybody done stole somebody in Santa Claus and stole all your presents, okay? You don't want that. You don't want nobody breaking into your apartment. You don't want like a natural disaster to happen and your apartment get flooded, or if you're downstairs and the people upstairs, their washing machine and got flooded and this thing came down to on your walls and stuff, and you don't have the money to get that repaired. Their renter's insurance gonna cover it. The TV that Santa Claus stole, their renter's insurance gonna cover it. So make sure that you have renter's insurance when you move into your apartment. Location. This is so important. Figuring out where these apartments are and going to on the property and what part of the town is it in. Is it now? Don't get me wrong. Crime happens everywhere you go. Bad things happen everywhere you go. You're never gonna be in a safe spot and never be around danger, okay? But make sure that you're not in the ghetto. Now, I understand if you cannot afford to live on the best part of town. I can understand it because I've been there and done it. I know. So I can understand that if you cannot afford to be on the best part of town. But make sure you are safe, okay? Regardless of where you at, make sure you are safe. Do research on the location that you'll be moving to. Go drive around the location at nighttime. See what's going on. There's people hanging around and, you see some stuff going on. You see a lot of police officers around. What is going on in this location at night? What is going on in this location during the morning time? What is the traffic like? All of that. You need to figure out the history and the occurring things that are going on in their particular location. You can figure out like what the population is. It majority women, men, you know, just stuff like that. Just little stuff like that that you need to be on the lookout on when you're dealing with the location on where you want to stay. Because the last thing that you want is to get this real nice apartment. Like, yeah, I got this real nice apartment. And then you hear gunshots the night that you move into your apartment. And you hear gunshots every other night. And then last week, the gunshot came through your window. Like, you don't want to have to deal with none of this stuff. So just make sure that you are in a really safe environment. Like I said, every place that you move into is not, no place is a safe spot. You're going to always be around danger. Things happen. But if it's a reoccurring thing that's happening every other night, it's not a good place or a good area to stay in. And I'm just being honest and being realistic. So make sure that you are safe, especially if you have children. Okay, if you're a mom or a parent or a dad, you don't want your child to be laying down at night and you worried about if a gunshot is going to come through their window at night or whatever you worried about. But just make sure that you and them kids are safe. Okay, so make sure that the location that you're staying is a secured location. If it is a bad area, make sure that police are always around. Make sure that you have security there on the property, so if something was to happen, you can hurry up and call security or something like that. Make sure you're safe, okay? And I can't say that more than enough because it's just too much going on nowadays. So you just got to watch your back. All right, the next thing that you're going to do is figure out what amenities are included into the apartment. So like stove, microwave, washer and dryer. Now, majority of the time, these things are brand new. If they are not new and you notice that your microwave is nasty, or you notice if your stove is nasty, or if you notice if your washer and dryer is like filthy, let them people know and tell them like, hey, before I sign this lease, I need a new stove, or I need a new microwave installed, or I need a new washer and dryer in my apartment before I sign the lease. Work these people, work them. It doesn't, this is how you're gonna be living. You don't want nothing to be on you. This is their job. They were supposed to do this. Okay, so don't be afraid to be on their case. Don't be afraid to make them work, because this is where you're going to be staying for the next year or two, or however long that you want to stay there. So make sure that those amenities are up to par. If, like I said, if your cabinets are crooked, hey, I need you to fix that cabinet before I move in this apartment. If it's chip paint all in your cabinets and stuff, and you know you pay for brand new renovated apartments, baby, you need to fix this chip paint. This money I ain't finna pay for no chip paint. Okay? So just make sure that you stay on these people's case. This is your money. This is going to be your apartment. So you want to live comfortable now. If you don't mind staying somewhere with a crooked cabinet and a messed up stove, the back I don't work, you seen a roach in your microwave on the first day you moved in and it was alive and well, and you seen the filters in the dryer was all nasty, and you went to wash your clothes and it was leaking. If you don't mind living like that, that's on you. But they got me messed up, baby. You gonna have to fix this before I move and sign this lease, or I'm gonna take my money somewhere else. And 9 times out of 10, they will fix it because they need the money. Trust and believe, they'll fix it. Second to last thing that you need to do is have a move-in plan. You need to figure out if you're gonna do all of this by yourself, if you're going to have your parents to help you, if you're going to have family members to help you, or if you're just going to hire professional movers to move your items and things. Now, if I were you, if this is your first apartment and you're starting from scratch and you don't have nothing, I would just move, like maybe call up my dad or, you know, my mom and cousins and help me move. But, baby, if you got couches and bed frames and living room suite and sectional and chairs and recliner seats and baby stroller, all this, you need to hire a professional. You do not want to strain your back, and you do not want to strain your cousins and daddy back neither. Hire them people. Tell them where you want what put at. Hey, can you put that couch on that wall? Hey, can you put that up and set it up over there? That's what those people are for. Hire you some professionals. Now, like I said, if you're starting from scratch and you don't necessarily have nothing but your bedroom suite, which 9 times out of 10, if you're just like fresh out of moving out of your parents' house, that's mainly the only thing that you will have is your bedroom suit and maybe a lamp from the living room or something. I don't know. You can do that yourself along with the help of like a cousin or two. But if you got all this other heavy stuff, hire your professional. If you can't afford that, that's understandable as well. Your family just gonna have to get put in some work. They just gonna have to work, okay? All right. Tip that I have is really simple, and it is figuring out what you need versus what you don't need. Now, the thing that I would recommend you to do is go in that bathroom and clean up all that stuff up under there, and all the stuff that you haven't used that whole year, just throw it away in the trash because you're probably not going to use it. And go in your little hair drawer and figure out all the stuff that you haven't used all year or in the last 2 years. If you haven't, throw it away. You're probably not going to use it. If it's not expensive, man. If it's expensive, keep it, okay? You don't want to throw away something that you spent a lot of money on. So if it's expensive, then keep it by all means. But if it's a lot of stuff that you haven't used really, throw it in the trash or give it away or leave it behind. Because the one thing that you don't want to do is clutter your new apartment, especially if it is going to be your first apartment. You're going to want to buy all of these new things. You're going to want to decorate. You're going to want to just, you know, clean and do all this other stuff, and you're gonna want to buy new stuff anyways. So just remember, if you have not been using those products, or if you have not been wearing these particular clothes or these particular shoes, clean all that stuff out, give it to Goodwill. You know you can claim that stuff on your taxes. You know that, right? You give away to Goodwill, you claim it on your taxes. So just give all that stuff to Goodwill. You'll get itemized deductions, taxes. But that is all that I have for you guys today, and I will be making a part 3 on this, but I just have to get everything together. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to answer all questions. I don't leave none of my subscribers out there just wondering what and who and how on my videos. So if you have any questions, drop those comments below. And if you want me to make a part 3, just let me know. Or if you want to know something that I haven't talked about in the video, let me know. And I got you. But it's time for me to go. It's way past due my smoothie time. Y'all, I made this smoothie this morning. And I usually drink a lot of smoothies. I use bananas. I use blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, and 2 cups of water, and I mixed it all together, and it's delicious. Wow.